I will now call the June 19th, 2017 Blue Springs City Council meeting to order. If you would stand with me, observe a moment of silence, and I will lead you in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. I want to welcome you in attendance as well as those that might be watching on cable TV to tonight's City Council meeting. Next, we have the consent agenda. Unless there are items to be pulled, I accept a motion for approval.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Kaler.
Aye.
Councilman Fowler.
Aye.
Councilman Carter.
Aye.
Councilman Edmondson.
Aye.
Councilman Culpepper.
Aye.
Mayor Ross.
Aye.
Carried unanimously.
Next, we have a public hearing on a rezoning of the gardens of Colonial Highlands.
Mayor, the city has the following exhibit to enter into the record. City Council information form dated June 13th, 2017 from Community Development Director Scott Allen with the following attachments. Planning Commission staff report with site location map, site aerial map, affidavit of publication in the Examiner on May 27th, 2017, application with attachments, 185-foot notification map, names and addresses of property owners within 185 feet of the site, copy of letter sent to said property owners, Title IV Land Use Section, Blue Springs Code of Ordinances by reference, 2014 Comprehensive Plan by reference, preliminary illustrative map and building elevations, and Bill number 4496 approving the rezoning. This is all we have to offer for the record.
Thank you. Ms. Allen, on behalf of the city.
Thank you, Your Honor, and members of the council. Again, before you this evening is a request by the applicant, Soleil Real Estate Investments, to rezone property about 24 acres in size, as you see in the map there before you, from AG, which is County Agriculture, to TF, which is the city's two-family residential zoning district. The property is on the east end of a larger property owned by Timothy Lutheran Church in the area. That's designated by the SO, the purple parcel you see there next to the AG site before you this evening. Again, the applicant is looking to rezone in order to move forward with another component adjacent to their Colonial Highlands project immediately to the east. And this did go before the Planning Commission at their meeting last Monday and is recommended for approval unanimously. It was a vote of 9-0. I will show just another conceptual drawing here the applicant has submitted. Actually, this might be a better version here. Here we go. The property immediately on the west is the area in question. Again, this is just for the rezoning request, so it's not lot configuration or street layout before you this evening at this point, but again, it's just the rezoning itself, and I'll draw it here. So you're looking at this area in relation to the rest of the Colonial Highlands project, which has already previously been approved, to move forward immediately to the east. So with that, again, that Planning Commission has recommended approval for this rezoning request. Again, additional approvals are still yet to come forward, and I'll stand for any questions.
Are there any questions from the council? Councilman Fowler.
Yes, Your Honor. We've seen everything to the right there of what you just drew, but how about this particular parcel? Has there been other plans on there before over the years? And what were the plans for? I noticed the comprehensive plan was mixed density. neighborhoods, but
At this point, nothing has been drawn up. This is just again, it's labeled as a rezoning map, but this is a little bit more detail of what the applicant, again, is intending to provide or submit.
I'm just saying any applicant at any time years ago.
Oh, okay.
Has it ever been designated for anything?
Your Honor and Councilman, no, nothing at this point. Again,
Okay.
that's why it's still shown as county agriculture.
Okay.
And again, looking to change that to city zoning here tonight.
Okay.
Any other questions from the council? Seeing none, thank you, Ms. Allen. Does the applicant like to come forward and make any comments? Be sworn in.
You solemnly swear as testimony about to give this case to be the truth, so help you
I do.
God.
Mayor and Council, Greg Musil, the law firm of Dowd Fretz at 5250 West 116th Place, Suite 400 in Leawood, Kansas. Here on behalf of Salee Real Estate Services or Investments, and Mr. Randy Salee is in the audience with us tonight. If you have questions, obviously either one of us would be happy to try to answer those. Scott went through, it's a fairly straightforward proposal to continue the Colonial Highlands subdivision to the west. It will be, again, paired homes, common amenities, share the homes association, share the pool, share the clubhouse, share the walking trails. There will be a walking connection between the two developments. At Planning Commission, our seller is Timothy Lutheran Church, and the church was at the Planning Commission and supported the rezoning. Mixed housing development. When you take the two combined, you'll have some paired homes on the Colonial Highlands that are rear loaded. If you'll remember, it was about a year ago we were in here for that. They have alleys in the back with their garages in the back. These will be front loaded, but with single car garages, so it's not just garages on the entire face of the project. At this point, we have 3 designs for the single-story paired homes and 1 design for a 2-story. So again, you get a neighborhood that has different look as you drive down the street. There's not a single line, a single form, a single format of the houses. These will be maintenance provided. The Salees intend to own these and rent these, as they did with the paired homes on the Colonial Highlands site. We'll have some additional city infrastructure as Major Road would be continued to the west and improvements on Wyatt Road. Staff has already, I think, indicated in their report that we're consistent with the comprehensive plan, meet the UDC requirements, and we'd request approval of that tonight. Understanding that a final plan will be brought back and you'll have more detail on the outline, the layout, and on the elevations.
Any questions from council? Councilman Fowler.
Yeah, I guess on it's 23 acres, I think. How many units would there be? And I guess, is
You
that
have 64 total lots, 128 units.
128 units? So
Yes.
the density on that would be how many units per acre?
They told me there'd be no math. That would be about 5, I believe.
Okay,
23 into 128,
All right.
something like that.
that's kind of what I was after.
Anyone
Go
else?
ahead.
You mentioned that the existing parcel as well as a proposed one with this zoning, and certainly we're not looking at the specifics right now, we're just talking about rezoning. That's going to share a pool. Is that quite a few people sharing a pool?
It
One
is.
pool?
The pool and the clubhouse are designed to handle that number of residents using those. I don't know if Randy wants to speak to that, but we're comfortable that those are designed and sized so that will work.
Okay. Yeah, it just kind of piqued my interest when you
Right.
said that. Okay.
We want room in the pool for everybody.
And then and visitors like me can come over and use it too, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Your Honor.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. What you're calling paired homes in my day were duplexes. There are only how many elevations that in there?
Right now, there are 4. And they were in your packet. One of them, I think I can go right down from this.
For the duplexes?
Yes, there's the 2-story. And then there are 3 different 1-story designs at this time so that there can be a differentiation. And I think even a single-family home subdivision, if every home is the same model, it gets a little boring after a while, so different colors and 3 different one-story units and at least 1 two-story unit. And I don't know if there may be more by the time we come back with final elevations, but those are the 4 that are anticipated today.
All right, I guess I've missed something here because all I have seen are 2, which this was the single story and then the 2-story.
Right.
And I missed, that looks the same as the one you just showed.
Now, the roof line, this one has 3 roof lines. Previous one has 2.
Oh, well, I guess,
It's not, I mean, they're not, you don't
I
get
don't
them
see a lot of
dramatically
difference.
different, but
I
they're-
just don't see a
they
lot
have
of
different
difference.
architectural features. Let me see if I can, and then that one has just 2 different roof lines. And, you can change the brick on them or the stone on them or the colors on them. So we understand that you want something that has some variety. And I think we understand that when we come back at final plan, that we need to have a variety of styles in this. And we call them paired home, or some people call them, I've heard twin villas. I agree with you, I grew up when they were duplexes. I think that the quality of the construction, the rental rate, those types of things make them more than duplexes as I understood them when I lived in one in college and it wasn't the nicest place. These are going to be a little different than that.
you mentioned the rental rate.
Rental rate, $1,200 to $1,400 a month. That will help, not on the rental rate, but helps for the maintenance provided. I mean, maintenance is provided, it's not provided free. You end up paying for that somehow in your rent or if you purchase.
But that's included in
Yes.
the price that you're stating?
Yes.
Because I'm not a big proponent of multifamily in here, but if it's maintenance-free, I think that makes a difference. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I do have another question.
Councilman Fowler.
That's okay. Anybody else? Can we see the drawing of the comprehensive development again?
I did it.
So, I guess you or the people you represent are going to be developing the whole area that we see up there.
Correct.
And you mentioned one subdivision or one home association, et cetera. I guess discuss the phasing of this. I realize we're just talking about rezoning on the one parcel tonight, but what would be the phasing of this? I'm concerned about the single family up there that would abut the 2-family. And have those lots been sold yet?
Some of those lots have been sold. If you can follow the hand here, and Randy can correct me, but the western portion of the paired homes, and then this is phase 1 of the single-family homes over in this area. And I think we told you a year ago would be serviced off of Wyatt Road. As you move to the east in the other phases, that will require Major Road to be completed.
Right.
So those are in, lots are being sold in the single-family subdivision, first phase. So those would end up being built, and obviously they will, if you've already bought a lot in there, you receive notice of this. If you haven't bought a lot yet, you'll have notice of it, that next to you is going to be this quality of subdivision with paired homes, with duplexes that
Right,
I guess you can
right.
choose whether or not you want to
So,
develop.
but the single family would start construction first, though. I mean, it's already phased, you're saying, and so you would intend to build the single family first.
Correct.
Okay.
There will be some of the paired homes on the east side, that the ones that are loaded on the rear, they'll be built as well. Before this phase would get started, they will Colonial Highlands is going. It's
Right,
got the
right.
infrastructure in, and so it will be built first. That will include single-family homes. And I think there were 115 single-family homes. I looked back at my notes, and I think it was about 115 in Colonial Highlands.
Okay. All right.
Take care of it.
Yep.
Anyone else? Seeing
Thank
none, thank you. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak in support of? In support of? Opposition to? Opposition to? Close this public hearing. Anyone like to introduce Bill 4496?
I'll introduce it, Your Honor.
Okay.
First reading of Bill Number 4496, an ordinance rezoning property from AG County Agriculture to TF 2-family.
Move the bill be approved on its first reading and proceed with the second.
Is there a second?
Second. Discussion?
Councilman Fowler.
Yes, Your Honor. I guess that last question there was about, hey, when is the single-family home coming in? And it sounds like if they're going to be developed first, to me, that's a positive aspect of it, because sometimes we see that developers have asked for multifamily with single family. They build a multifamily and then come back later on and say, hey, this is not working for the single family and I'm going to ask for more multifamily. But it sounds like this is sequenced in such that the single family goes in first. There should be full disclosure there that the property is going to be zoned that way. So, I can follow this rezoning.
Thank you. Anyone else? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All same sign.
Second reading of Bill Number 4496, an ordinance rezoning property from AG County Agriculture to TF, two-family.
Move the bill be approved on second reading, given the final ordinance number.
Your second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Councilman Fowler?
Aye.
Councilman Carter?
Aye.
Councilman Edmondson?
Aye.
Councilman Culpepper?
Aye.
Councilman Kaler?
Aye.
Mayor Ross?
Aye.
Carried unanimously, given ordinance number 4665.
Next, we have introduction and reading of Bill 4497.
I'll introduce it, Your Honor.
First reading of Bill number 4497, an ordinance approving final plat for sports and luxury auto first plat.
Move the bill be approved on its first reading and proceed with the second.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All same sign.
Second reading of Bill number 4497, an ordinance approving final plat for sports and luxury auto first plat.
Move the bill be approved on second reading, given the appropriate ordinance number.
Second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Councilman Carter?
Aye.
Councilman Edmondson?
Aye.
Councilman Culpepper?
Aye.
Councilman Kaler?
Aye.
Councilman Fowler?
Aye.
Mayor Ross?
Aye.
Carried unanimously, given ordinance number 4666.
Next, we have introduction and reading of Bill 4498.
I'll introduce it, Your Honor.
First reading of Bill number 4498, an ordinance amending sections 125.080 and 125.090 of the Code of Ordinances, City of Blue Springs, Missouri, to change the qualifications for office and the vacation of office for municipal judges.
Move the bill be approved on its first reading and proceed with the second.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All same sign.
Second reading of Bill number 4498, an ordinance amending sections 125.080 and 125.090 of the Code of Ordinances, City of Blue Springs, Missouri, to change the qualification for office of the vacation of office and the vacation of office for municipal judges.
Move the bill be approved on second reading, given the appropriate ordinance number.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Councilman Edmondson.
Aye.
Councilman Culpepper.
Aye.
Councilman Kaler.
Aye.
Councilman Fowler.
Aye.
Councilman Carter.
Aye.
Mayor Ross.
Aye.
Carried unanimously, given ordinance number 4667.
Introduction and reading of Bill 4499.
I'll introduce it, Your Honor.
First reading of Bill number 4499, an ordinance amending sections 115.301 and 115.302 of the Code of Ordinances, City of Blue Springs, Missouri, to designate and clarify the city administrator's authority to enter into certain contracts and develop policies.
Move the bill be approved on its first reading and proceed with the second.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All same sign.
Second reading of Bill number 4499, an ordinance amending sections 115.301 and 115.302 of the Code of Ordinances, City of Blue Springs, Missouri, to designate and clarify the city administrator's authority to enter into certain contracts and develop policies.
Move the bill be approved on second reading, given the appropriate ordinance number.
Second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Councilman Culpepper?
Aye.
Councilman Kaler?
Aye.
Councilman Fowler?
Aye.
Councilman Carter?
Aye.
Councilman Edmondson?
Aye.
Mayor Ross?
Aye.
Carried unanimously, given ordinance number 4668.
Next, we have introduction and reading of Bill 4500.
I'll introduce it, Your Honor.
Okay.
First reading of Bill number 4500, an ordinance adding a new chapter, Chapter 805, Urban Development Corporations, to the Code of Ordinances, City of Blue Springs, Missouri, in order to adopt procedures for considering redevelopment plans and tax abatement or exemption pursuant to Chapter 353 of the Revised Statutes of Missouri.
Move to approve the bill on its first reading and proceed with the second.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All same sign.
Second reading of Bill number 4500, an ordinance adding a new chapter, Chapter 805, Urban Development Corporations, to the Code of Ordinances, City of Blue Springs, Missouri, in order to adopt procedures for considering redevelopment plans and tax abatement or exemption pursuant to Chapter 353 of the Revised Statutes of Missouri.
Move the bill be approved on second reading, given the appropriate ordinance number.
Second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Councilman Kaler.
Aye.
Councilman Fowler.
Aye.
Councilman Carter.
Aye.
Councilman Edmondson.
Aye.
Councilman Culpepper. Councilman Culpepper.
Aye.
Mayor Ross.
Aye.
Carried unanimously, given ordinance number 4669.
Yeah, that brings us to mayoral announcements. I understand that there were some questions about this camera at the last council meeting. and also a jolting button for this chair. I don't think any of those came to pass.
Oh, I don't know, I enjoyed it.
But anyway, I want to thank Mayor Pro-Tem and District 1 Councilmember Dale Carter for filling in for me last council meeting.
We're glad to have you back.
Thank you. And I also want to thank everyone for their prayers and thoughtfulness for the last 3 weeks after my total hip replacement surgery. I'm recovering well, and I've kicked a walker, I've kicked a cane, and I'm strutting. Not dancing yet, but I'm getting there. So anyway, it's very thoughtful of everyone, and I appreciate your well wishes. That brings me to Thoughts to Ponder. Tonight it comes from Josh Billings, and I quote, "Be a good postage stamp. Stick to one thing until you get it there." End quote. Visitors. I don't have any visitors appearance forms, so I am going to defer to our city attorney that will make a motion that Mayor Pro Tem and District 1 Councilman Dale Carter will so move.
Your Honor, if I might, before we
Yes.
do that, just kind of a public announcement. Saturday, downtown Main Street will be closed for the Corks and Canvas event, so people need to plan accordingly and plan to come out to the Corks and Canvas Art and Wine Walk.
Now, it's not going to be closed the whole time, just Saturday evening?
Saturday, 11 to 7.
during the day too?
The event is from 11 to 7.
Okay. All right. Duly noted.
Thank you.
You bet. Now, city attorney.
Your Honor, I recommend a motion for the council to go into closed session pursuant to Section 610.021, subparagraphs 1 and 2, revised statutes of Missouri, for the purpose of privileged communications between a governmental body or its representative and legal counsel, including litigation and real estate, and that any minutes, documents, and other records discussed or taken during the closed session remain closed, and that this body stand adjourned at the completion of such session. And a work session will be held immediately after the completion of the closed session for the presentation of public official liability training.
So moved.
You sure?
Well, a little hesitation.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Kaler?
Aye.
Councilman Fowler?
Aye.
Councilman Carter?
Aye.
Councilman Edmondson?
Aye.
Councilman Culpepper?
Aye.
Mayor Ross?
Aye.
Carried unanimously.
We're going to be dismissed to the conference room.